Hi, my name is Mandy Johnson. I am an athletic trainer and physical therapist, as well as owner of Renegade Wellness. And this is part two of John's story, which goes to show companies why they need an employee wellness program. So, last time we left off with John getting a referral to go back and see his primary doctor, his primary care physician, if he has one. So John, waits a few days. Things are just not getting better. The medication that he got from the ER isn't really cutting it. And he needs to be able to get to a point where he can just do things like walk all the way to his car from his living room without it getting real cranky. So he goes ahead and makes an appointment to see a primary care doctor. And at this point, it's been a few weeks because you can't instantaneously get in to see the doctor. Sometimes they're a month out, sometimes they're more than a month out, depending on who you're trying to see and how popular they are. So John gets in to see his primary care guy, and the primary care guy is, nice guy, but he doesn't know anything about low back pain because, again, his job is to advise you on general health matters. So, what medication to take for your high blood pressure, which John is definitely getting looked at now. He doesn't know all the research on where you should send people when they have low back pain or what's the best thing to do. What he does, and what most primary care individuals do, is either they'll take one of two approaches. Wait and see. Let's try a different medication for 30 days and we'll wait and see if that's helpful. Or I'll give you a referral to the guy I like for Bex. And so, one of those two routes, it's pretty standard. So John gets a referral to go see a back guy. The back guy, is at least 1 to 2 months out. So now we're looking at almost 60 days after his original low back injury. John's back is still not doing great, still hurts. He still has to modify a lot of how he does things at work because he just can't take any one position for too long, or he can't bend for crap, or it doesn't feel good. So his productivity is decreasing. The amount of stuff that he can get done during the day is just not the same. Again, he's a hurting unit. So poor guy, he's trying, but things just keep getting worse. And so eventually he gets in to see the orthopedic guy, and the orthopedic guy says, "Oh, we need an MRI." So the MRI gets taken, but there's a delay between when the MRI can get scheduled, when John can get back in to see the orthopedic guy and see what they're going to do about his back. But if we can take a minute to back up, because if we actually look at what is recommended by the American Physicians Association is physical therapy. Physical therapy should be your number one after low back, provided that things are just like generally uncomfortable, not feeling good. The ER could have referred you to physical therapy potentially. But about 8% of people get a referral to physical therapy. Obviously, I am a physical therapist, so I have a definite bias towards getting people into physical therapy, getting them back to all the different physical activities they like to do. So, I totally get that. That's definitely going to be my wheelhouse. That's where I want people to come. But it's also because if you go through an entire course of physical therapy, so like say you come see us for a month, maybe 6 weeks for your low back pain, all of those treatments, generally a couple times a week right off the bat to get you in a more comfortable spot, once a week towards the end to kind of get you back and wean you off, it's going to be less than a whole MRI. The MRI is going to run, $1,400, $1,800, depends on where you're at. And physical therapy, definitely not anywhere near that. I mean, you could come see us multiple times before we're going to add up to something like that. So cost effectiveness of sending someone to a physical therapist is huge. it's just huge. And that's one thing, like, again, only 8% of people are being sent to what physicians have agreed is the first place people should go when they have low back pain. It's not a physical therapy association saying that. That's the physicians in America saying you should, from research, send them here. But it's not happening because it's just not standard. Like your older physicians that see people, PAs, nurse practitioners, it's not that they're bad people. It's just they have their hands tied with how much time they can spend with you. Again, when you go see these providers, it's just a payment for the code you came in. They spend 2 minutes with you. It's the same amount as they spend an hour with you. It's just the way our medical system is set up, and it's not their fault. So that's really the hard thing, is that if we can get people into physical therapy earlier, it's the best outcome for everyone, most likely. But the problem is that physical therapy, just like a lot of other things, it's a specialty. And so it costs money. You have a copay, maybe you haven't met your deductible, and you have to see us multiple times because, again, we're trying to work with you to get it back, to decrease the muscle spasms, to loosen things back up. And people look at it from the time off of work perspective too. So, to come see us, you're asking for like an hour-ish, maybe a little bit more, depending on if you're a large city, small city, to come and see a physical therapist. It's time consuming, and you don't get paid to do that. To go see a doctor real quick to have the MRI results read to you, that's much faster. To go just do this, like pick up your prescription after work, again, faster. It's just the way that we're set up. So we're going to leave the story there, and we'll come back and we'll talk about the number of days of lost productivity. Even though John's been going to work, he's been feeling like crap. So we'll come back and just talk about how much low back pain contributes to how little work we're able to get done while we're still going there, still showing up, still clocking in. So thanks so much.